Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I am celebrating Shannon reaching 1,000 subscribers. We are to scrap lift one of her layouts, and I saw this video a while ago and I was like, I need to scrap lift that even before I knew that she was doing this hop. I'm going to be using the Simple Stories Say Cheese Frontier at the Park collection. I just recently picked this up and I think it might still be available, so I'll link it below if it is. Now, Shannon's layout has 6x6 papers on it, and I knew that I was going to change it up a little bit because I definitely wanted to add a few more photos than what she added. And then I also wanted to use the 6x8 paper pad, and I wanted to use them in that size. I didn't want to cut them down. All I'm doing is cutting them widthwise. I'm leaving them the length of 8 inches. I basically went through the paper pad and found any of the papers that kind of went with the Frontier part of it, because the paper pad had like all of the different park papers with it. So I have obviously that brown paper that says Frontier on it, this plaid paper, and I put that on both the left and right, as well as the red polka dot. And then I also have this blue tone-on-tone striped paper, and that actually gets covered up quite a bit with the photos and some embellishments, as well as my journaling. What I tried to do was have a bigger piece like on one side and a smaller piece on the other side, except for the Frontier paper. That Frontier paper, I made sure that I had the entire word Frontier in the section, so both the left and right, that is a little bit larger. Shannon's layout does call for a larger strip to cover the entire 12 inches over on the left, so I went ahead and used the star paper for that. Because I did the 6x8 papers and I only had 4x6 photos, I needed something to go across the top. So what I decided to do was use this cloud paper, which I thought was perfect. It kind of looks like cloud in the sky paper. And then I was going to use the wood grain that came with the collection, but I wasn't liking it. So I went through my wood grain collection and just tried to decide what paper I wanted to pull out. And I end up using this Simple Stories wood grain and cutting a strip down at the bottom. So there's a 1-inch strip of the clouds and a 1-inch strip of the wood grain. I do end up using Vintage Photo to ink all of my edges. And I also go ahead and pull out a flip flap to add to the right hand side, since I did have a couple of extra photos. As I'm getting all of the papers down, I want to encourage you guys to check out all of the links below. Shannon does a ton of videos. Like I said, she just reached her 1,000 subscribers, and so that's such an awesome accomplishment. A lot of her videos are Disney related, so if you have Disney photos that you need to get scrapbooked, definitely check her out for lots of inspiration. She is also on the design team for Kelly Bell Designs, so she has lots of print and cut features that Kelly Bell Design offers, and just some amazing layouts. So definitely check her out, as well as all of the other ladies that are playing along. I can't wait to see what everyone does to scrap lift her. These photos are of the Frontierland Shootin arcade, and this is such an awesome experience that a lot of people don't realize is there. It's kind of tucked away a little bit, and unfortunately it is going away in May. I'm super sad about that. I have told Eli that we need to make another trip out there. These photos were actually taken when I first learned that it was going away, but that was actually probably a year and a half ago. Somebody released that information probably a little too soon. Eli had never been out there at that point. Since I have taken him out there, we have gone multiple times. He's actually asked to go into this area and play this arcade game. So basically what it is it's an attraction that simulates a shootout in Arizona in the 1850s. And the gallery includes things like a jail, a hotel, a bank, a cemetery, and there's like little red targets on them that animate things when you shoot them. So you have these guns. When you shoot the red target, it does certain things, like the flowers will die or the things will spin, and just all different types of things. There are 97 targets in this section, and it's a free attraction. So I think a lot of people see the arcade word and think that it costs money to do, and so that's usually why it's never really busy. It has been a lot more busy since people know that it's going away, but it's definitely a really cool experience to have. And it's one of the things that I love about being a pass holder is we can go and do these things. This particular day that we literally went to do this, and we spent well over an hour in this area. There's a whole row, because there's obviously several locations that you can sit at so that several people can use it at a time. So we just kind of went down the row, because depending on where you're standing, you have better shots at the different areas. So when we went on this particular day, I think we were able to get all 97 targets shot because we spent such a long time there. If I was not a pass holder, if this was like my only time experiencing Disney, it might not have spent that long at this place, but it's definitely a really cool experience, and I would highly recommend checking it out. But if you get there before May, and let me know in the comments below, have you experienced this arcade, and what is your favorite target to hit if you have experienced it? All right, I was able to get all of the papers and the photos down. You saw that I cut down some of the photos on the right hand side, since I knew that it was going to be covered up completely with that photo of Eli and I. And then I went ahead and pulled out my border punch in this wavy design in a black. I felt like it just needed something to tie all of these pieces together. I had all those strips plus that wood grain, and I just needed something extra, and I really like the way that it makes a shelf for all that paper to sit on. So once I get that border strip down, I go ahead and pull out the ephemera pieces that I picked up, and I saw this ephemera piece and I was like, oh, I really want to use that. It has like the wood grain on it and it says Frontier. But here's my issue with these pieces from Simple Stories, and I didn't pay attention to it before I purchased it. I will absolutely use it, but I'm gonna struggle with using it because the attraction name is Frontierland Shootin Arcade. Even though it says Frontier, that's not the name of the attraction. And while I may use that Frontier piece in something else, I'm not going to use it when the attraction name is actually Frontierland. And I know that Simple Stories obviously isn't able to add things exactly like Disney because they're getting around the trademark areas and making sure that they don't have any trademark infringement issues. I know that they can't actually say Frontierland because that's probably a trademark of Disney. What I ended up doing was taking that wood grain that I used at the bottom, and I found these stickers that are brown and it has like a gold trim around them, and I used this tool that roughs up the edges. I've had it for a while, and I think I saw Shannon use it on one of hers, and I was like, hey, I have that tool. It is from Tim Holtz, and it just basically has little blades in it, and I roughed up the edges of that wood grain paper so it kind of looks like it would be what roughed up wood as well. So my title is Frontierland. I used the Simple Stories Color Vibe books to pull out some tile stickers in a different color wood grain to spell out Shootin Arcade. Then I'm looking through the embellishment pieces to try to find some embellishments that are going to work. Over on the left hand side, I found that wanted sign and I added that, as well as a barrel. Over on the far right hand side, I added the Wild West embellishment piece, and I realized that I was going to be covering it up with the flip flap, so I went ahead and turned the photos around so that my flip flap will fall down as opposed to going up, so it doesn't cover up that embellishment cluster there. And then I also added a wagon wheel. Back over on the left hand side, I went ahead and added a boot to that wanted sign, and then I also found this like cow horn. I don't know what those things are called, but I added that to the top of my Wild West embellishment piece over there. Then I also found this like alcohol jug. I think it's like a 1 gallon jug that you would find alcohol in and added that to the wanted sign as well. And then up at the title there, I did add a bullseye target since I had targets in the Shootin Arcade, and I did find a sticker that says bullseye, and I added that to the target as well. I did bring out my journaling strip die. I do have Nicole's Facebook group linked below. She has the spreadsheet that allows you to type up the journaling in the spreadsheet, and then it works perfectly on this particular die. I was cutting out multiple journaling, so I got confused, so I had to pull up my spreadsheet to see exactly what order it went to. I did go ahead and look up the Frontierland Shootin Arcade website that Disney has, and basically just pulled some information from the website. So my journaling just says, this attraction simulates a shootout in Tombstone, Arizona over Boot Hill in 1850. The gallery includes a jail, a hotel, bank, and a cemetery with targets which are animated when shot. There are a total of 97 targets in the shooting gallery. I struggled to figure out where I wanted to put the journaling pieces, but I do end up adding it to the far right-hand side and making sure that I started at the bottom because I knew I could go over the photo a little bit if I needed to. And I went over the photo maybe like 1/4 of an inch. I did use my glue press to get those down. And then that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I encourage you guys to go check out Shannon's video as well as all of the other participants in this particular hop. Congratulations, Shannon. I am so proud of you for finally reaching 1,000 subscribers. That is such a big accomplishment, and I'm so glad to be celebrating it with you. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.